we are short of time. That's why we should do it. I agree, not just strongly.
Okay, you?
We strongly agree with this point because it helps to avoid other thoughts. For example, they may have some problems or some thoughts about the previous lesson during or class, and it helps to energize, and it means that they are in the situation, they are in English class. That's why.
To
Okay.
feel the English classroom environment.
So this man is disagree. So we think, okay? You
The reason why I disagree is that for intrinsic motivation, this kind of activities are not necessary. So I disagree.
I think that this kind of activities are so necessary, not so necessary.
For
So
intrinsic.
Our group strongly agree with this statement because if you know, in that course we were given information how to organize our classes, yes, and there was some kind of do now and warm up activities to how to say energize our students and get their attention and put them into the very condition of the class.
are you still keeping disagree? Okay, let's see. Just agree, right? Okay, you may begin.
It's written here, we should start the each lesson with warm-up activity, but sometimes we have control words. I think during these lessons, control words, if you start your lesson some kind of warm activity, it may interrupt the people's mind, and they can't focus on the, they can't concentrate on the control words.
But you can use in control work.
Okay, you have to replace to prove your idea, not from there. You have to start, okay? You should come. So, begin, continue.
So, just before beginning the lesson, creating a proper atmosphere is the most important thing. That's why this warm-up activity is the best chance for teachers to create the appropriate atmosphere to begin the lesson.
Okay. Something to add? You should tap. You should tap.
You should tap.
Your group member. Okay. She lives.
Okay, he said that during the control work, you cannot use warm up. You can use warm up during this control to make some smaller revision about the previous lessons. Short time.
Okay, thank you, colleagues. Let's turn to the next question. Thank you. I appreciate your idea. So next question is, allowing students to vote on which short stories they want to read. So, who is agree to allow to choose what to read to your students? Who is agree? Who is disagree? Who is strongly agree? Keep moving. Stand up, please. You allow to vote on which short story they want to read. Are you agree or are you disagree? Are you strongly agree or strongly disagree? So keep moving, stand up, colleagues. Stand up. You allow your students to choose what to read, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We agree strongly.
So you have again 1 minute to discuss among yourself, and then someone will come to prove your idea, okay?
Okay.
So what else?
According to the level and the age of the students.
Class? Yes. Are you listening to me? Yes. So send someone who represents your group. Okay, this is a middle. So go. So who is from that group? Strongly agree.
You already said someone.
He changed his position.
So send someone that fun, like
He
these
sold
and
your
all.
ideas.
Okay, so quickly guys, we are losing time. Time consuming tasks are we are not going to allow. So, someone. Yeah. So let's prove your ideas. Why you agree, why you disagree. So someone who strongly agree and someone who strongly disagree. So let's discuss.
You strongly disagree, okay?
Strongly disagree.
So
Because there are nobody.
You can do like that. You're a shoulder.
Okay, from ladies.
Yeah, strongly agree, yes. This is we learned in our theory lessons that if we choose a relevant topic which interests our learners, in that case our lesson will be effective. That's why in marginal it's better to give chance students to choose a learning topic.
So disagree is your option.
We disagree with our group because our students do not know what level they are, and that's why teachers should just decide or give some list where with the names of stories, and in this case students can choose the story to read, but so taking into account their level, teachers should give them stories, not students choose.
Okay, you are agree.
We agree with this point because not strongly agree because
You are agree to disagree.
no, we agree.
You are disagree to disagree, right?
I'm
So you are-
disagree. I agree. Yes, sometimes teachers should let students choose a topic, but not always because it can cause some conflicts because there are different peoples and different ideas and different interests. And in this situation, we must take into consideration all the students' interests turn by turn and fair. It would be better in that case.
So you will strongly disagree, right? How can you be against popular
So
ideas?
during 45 minutes you cannot choose any kind of story. It really takes your time. And I think dependent learners do not know what to read. So that's why you will give your own stories.
That's why I said sometimes.
Sometimes
Yes, that's why I agree, not strongly agree.
I strongly disagree.
You disprove?
So
Okay, while during, we have 45 minutes, yes? While they are choosing the topic, it can be time consuming. That's why I think we know better than group mates, the students, each of our students' interests. That's why we should choose ourselves, teachers should.
In that case, you
Yes,
kill
strongly.
students' autonomy.
No, we know about students'
So
interests already.
you should obey
We
the
are
6
teachers.
principles. Know your learners.
Sorry? Yes,
How
and
do you know?
you know your learners, and your learners want to choose topics themselves. And what will you do in that case?
So it takes a lot of time.
tap her shoulder to replace.
So I agree with this statement. If you give opportunity to our students, to your students, to choose the reading task, for example, something they are going to read, it defines their level. For example, majority of your students will choose one topic, and you can follow this because it defines their level. So that I agree with this statement.
And
So
one more thing, while you are preparing, you should be ready for this task, yes? It also allows some minutes, yes? It's also time consuming, that's why you should be ready in advance. For that, you should choose it at home and get ready for
So
this
you are
task.
strongly disagree.
Not strongly, just disagree.
In this way, you give learner autonomy.
Okay, move the topic.
You give way to
okay,
learner autonomy.
thank you, colleagues. Next question is please.
The next question is, giving clear instructions is important.
Okay,
Giving clear
instructions is important. So again, you have to
Strongly agree.
Everybody go.
discussion. All of us strongly agree with the
So, again, you have 1 minute to discuss among yourselves. Giving clear instruction is important. No, we have something still left to discuss. So, 1 minute. You have to discuss through the minute, and then again we will gather here. Okay, guys, you have to join them because your ideas are the same, right? So,
So that's not where
we are not so strongly disagree.
because it's useful when you
On the fence.
You get some opportunity to guess. But you have to learn and think.
so teachers, again, someone presented from your group and someone is from this group. So come to the middle of the room. Not middle, I feel like center, right? I'm sorry. Okay, so these are strongly agree. 2 of you.
I'm agree.
You are agree. So let's begin. So listen, maybe still something left that you're going to add here, okay? You may begin. Some more. Okay.
So our group discussed about this statement, and there were some ideas that there is no need for discussing this topic. But I still have my own idea about this topic. Although there is no need for discussing this topic, I have some ideas about my experience. What was my giving way of instruction before this course, and what did I change after being involved in this course? So in the past, before this course, before this program, ESN program, I used to give instructions like I used to speak really fast without taking into consideration my pupils' comprehension. And I used some advanced vocabulary. I didn't pay attention what will be understanding my pupils. I only concentrated on myself. And after this course, I learned how to give clear instructions by involving my students. Like I changed my way of giving instructions.
All in all,
Like
you think
I
that this is
using my body
important.
language. I started to slow down my pace, speech pace, and I started talking in a high-pitched voice. And I started giving instructions by involving my students. So, thank you. This is the end of my...
Just a minute.
Of course, we need to give clear instructions, but we have some routine activities that we do every time. That's why sometimes they already know about this, what to do during this activity. That's why we choose just agree point corner.
So, ladies, here the idea is that some tasks doesn't need to be instructed. So she is strongly agrees that each step must be instructed. So they are not agree for this. Some have, like in Navi theory, some tasks come straightly, like you do it everyday routine. So you are strongly agree, right? You should prove.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
But we should take attention to all the levels of the pupils. If the pupils are active, they understand everything without any prompt. But what about lower pupils? We should give clear instruction not one time, but more than one time.
And short,
Okay, you should come. Who is going to present from this group?
We are angry, and you are also angry, but why we are not
I'm
strongly agree? Why strongly agree? Because sometimes it's useful to give opportunity to your students to guess what to do. It gives them self-confidence, so that's why we are not so strongly agree.
So, okay, one thing. Think about this training. Even though we are teachers, even though we are trainers, and even though this and Armin give us clear instructions, in some activities you can do, we hesitate, we confuse of what to do.
Yes.
So, and think about our learners, young learners, kids, teenagers, they need these instructions.
Maybe we have some
You should Keys continues and you will learn.
As you know, according to learning autonomy, we should give somehow freedom to our people. If you give clear instruction every time, and after that your people ask you, "Oh teacher, please tell me what I can do." Instead of this, if you give them some independence, they can do themselves. Instead of clear instruction.
You mean that they become dependent, yeah?
Yes.
Every time.
For example.
Not every
My
time.
turn, it's my turn.
Not every time.
My turn. So in that case, there are some students who have some health problem or who have some family problems, and they can't concentrate on what you are saying. And in that time, if it's understandable for all students, you don't have to just repeat, or you don't have to show, or you don't have to tell the instruction a few times. Only once, and only 30 seconds, it will be enough in that case.
Okay. Sayara
Teachers
said,
will lose nothing in that case.
Sayara said that even we are teachers and we don't understand what we are doing in this case. We ask from our group, and it gives us opportunity to social culture theory. Yeah,
It can
you can ask
it
your,
can take time in that case, and it can cause noise.
you can easily ask.
If you have some people with some kind of health problems, you can just clear instruction to them alone. Just saying that.
But it also takes time.
Thank you.
So thank you, Thales. I think it worked a bit because I think many of you feel tired, even it's still 11:30.
Oh no.
And some of you get bored because I have two ideas about it. Even you don't have any idea about these questions, or you are get bored and that's why you are not going to join it. So next time, I do hope, if we will have next time, I do hope you will participate actively. Thank you for.
Wow, so good. We're going to do a continuation of that incredible activity, but it will be, I will say a statement, and you will talk a little bit like she just did. That was incredible. And then you will just send one person to say one idea, and then you can have other people respond. So sometimes students don't succeed, right? Because we do not give them scaffolding. Discuss it with your friends, and then we're going to do like you did. One person will stand, and then we'll just have people share. Once again, the sentence is, sometimes students do not succeed in learning something in our class because we do not give scaffolding. Okay? So you're going to talk. Yes, I agree. No, I don't agree. It's the student's fault. No. It's the teacher's fault. No. It's both. Okay? So take a moment, talk, and then we'll see ideas. And if you want, do you think, I love your idea. Do you think people can talk and then after they can move?
Yeah.
Okay? Talk and then move. You have 2 minutes. Discuss. Yeah, discuss first with your people. You're done? Give them 20 seconds to talk. Yes. Scaffolds. Is it the student's fault they did not learn, or maybe the teacher did not give?
What was that question?
Okay, here's the question.
Students do not
I'm trying my best. I hope it's clear. Student did not learn because the teacher did not give scaffold. Everyone's going to stand up and you're going to tell me, no, I disagree. The teacher did his job. He taught the lesson. Or no, it's the teacher's fault. So is it the student did not learn because the teacher had no scaffold? I don't know if it's too hard. Do you agree with that? I agree that the student did not learn. Or not? I hope it will.
Can we mingle?
Mingle, walk, mingle. Go to your area. Maybe the sentence is not good. Do it right. Simpler sentence. I need scaffolds in my class. I need scaffolds in my class. Go to yes, agrees over here. Disagrees is there. I need scaffolds in my class. Alright, take a minute. Go to your side. You can't be in the middle. I need scaffolds in my class. Good? Alright. A minute to talk. And if you want, you can choose someone else. Okay, let's get some volunteers. Come forward, one person. When she goes, she's done, you clap her hand. Go.
I said first to speak.
Let her go, let her go.
Okay, we have some students, even if you scaffold every time, each time, every day, they don't need it. They're too lazy to get, even if you scaffold.
Okay.
It's up to the background knowledge of the student and behavior also.
It's like
But we should scaffold, but we have some students they don't need.
Okay.
Some students need more scaffolding
Even
as
if you-
compared to other students because their speed of learning is lower. In that case, it's our duty, it's our obligation to help them, to support them, just how much it's necessary, I guess.
So,
It's our duty.
let me
responsibility.
continue. I'm so strongly disagree. Why? All of us are talented and skilled, right? So we can prove our skills in different ways. If we have several students and they are sitting in ordinary classes, it doesn't mean that all of students we have to scaffold. And if they are not interested in that subject, it is not the fault of the teacher because they can prove their talent in mathematics maybe, in history. They are not good speakers maybe, but they can prove their talents in different ways, on writing maybe, on solving problems, right? So that is why I'm strongly disagree. Why? If we cannot lead the student to the direct way, it doesn't mean that teacher cannot work with that student. It means that student have another idea to continue his lifelong.
Okay, in that case, in your lesson, you just let your students do whatever they want, whatever they just.
I don't mean that I let my students do whatever they want. I control them somehow. It's like self-control because I don't want my students to be dependent learner. But anyway, I let them to choose their own profession through my lesson.
Okay.
If
What-
I'm not good English teacher, for some students, it doesn't mean that I'm not teaching them. I'm explaining them what is good and what is bad, and their future. Maybe they don't need to use English in their future. For example, we have second language in our school, French and German, but a lot of students don't find them necessary to learn.
I've got a question.
Mhm.
What would you do if your students are
Here we
dealing-
have debates,
are working-
not questions, I guess.
No. It's interesting for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So what would you do if your students are engaging in mathematics or chemistry in your class?
During my
45
lessons,
minutes.
you mean
Would you
during
let
my
them?
lessons, they know that I just don't let them to work through mathematics. They do the tasks every day like routines, but strictly punishing, I don't just punishing them. It is to their own choose of their way.
Just leave it. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Can I explain, or should I explain something?
You're getting out of topic.
Okay.
out of topic,
Please
that
touch
was.
the topic. But according to her sentence, I gave this question. It is interesting.
That is scaffolding, so reading the student is a subject.
You said touch the topic. Didn't
I said strongly disagree. Teacher is
fully agree. Okay, if you're,
We disagree.
if you strongly disagree, please.
Thank you.
All right, can I explain something to everyone?
Yeah.
Scaffolding looks different in different classrooms. Every teacher should scaffold, is what we're trying to train people, and eventually you take it away. So if someone does not succeed, they need help. Here's one way of giving help. Instead of telling you to write an essay like we did yesterday, me and Liz could have given you this hamburger, for instance, and said the introduction is this, the first detail, second, this is an example, and conclusion. Because maybe I don't know how to organize an essay. That is a scaffold, one example.
So what's the difference between a clear instruction and scaffolding?
Sure. So clear instruction is after you say it, you're finished. Scaffold could be a sentence. Sentence starter. It could be a worksheet that you give to some students. I'm not saying your views are wrong, right? Everyone has their ideas, and that's the whole point of this, right? Right? Because we all have different approaches to teaching. But we're just teaching what's this in this methodology. Scaffolding is important. Another scaffold is instead of just giving someone a reading, you explain the key vocabulary before. In advance.
You don't just say read it and they're lost.
So I think
Yeah.
sometimes it depends on dependent and independent learner.
It depends on the situation.
I'm just explaining good practice. I'm explaining good practice. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. We're just teaching TESOL methodology. You should pre-teach important vocabulary. That's a scaffold.
We're finished with module 2. Alhamdulillah.
Yes. Thank
I'm
you.
so happy.
Thank you, Liz.
We finished.
Thank you, everyone.
It's going to be smoother in the future because we have a system now. Thank you for your patience. Sorry to interrupt.
No, we're almost there. Okay, here's another scaffold. Don't just give clear instructions. It's said right here. You should also provide key pronunciation and intonation. Right? So sometimes maybe someone mispronounced something. We helped. That is a scaffold. In one word, scaffold means help. You don't just leave them because you said I gave the directions. Khalas, finished. Fio. That's not it.
Alas.
That's not teaching. That is, I throw the ball and I sit down. Teaching is ping pong. Teaching is ping pong. Okay? Back and forth. There. Another example. Scaffolds. Sentence stems.
We did
Okay.
it. We did it. Put it in
Done.
your activity log. You can put this in your activity log.
All right, that's an example. I don't think we need to give an example.
That's enough.
I think, because I want to go to your part. This is the next important concept. This is key. This relates to you thing. Do I give directions and just leave them alone?
No.
Do I give directions and leave them alone? No. Do I go and help everyone all the time?
No.
No. This is called, I hope you're looking. I hope you're here. Your eyes are here. Some people are looking all over or talking.
Be careful of the wires.
Thank you. This is called gradual release of responsibility. You are driving the car of the learning, but like Liz said, you have to let them try to drive. But you don't just say, go in the car, drive. No. They need you sitting next to them sometimes, and then you walk away. So in the, what's that? Exactly. I do. The teacher is the input. You know, I think a teacher is like a star in the sky. We do it together. We practice making examples. Maybe I write on the board. After free practice, you do it freely, and then practice alone. Each person comes up and shares. You can't just go from I do to you do. Is that clear? You just jumped from I show you how to drive and I walk away and leave you alone. That's not a good driving instruction.
I do, we do, then you do.
I do. We do. You do. I would even.
I do it.
Actually, yeah, you're right. It's you do together.
3D concept.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's key for gradual release. I think that we don't need to go through
Yeah,
all these
they've
details.
got
Look
it,
at this.
they've
This is it.
What I would suggest is in your book, you've got a lot more detail on this, and it came up in Module 2. Some of you struggle with autonomy. It's a kind of a cultural idea, a little bit, but I recommend you read this stuff. Notice ways that you can start to be a better driving teacher. Yeah? Thank you.
Great. Everyone can sit down. You're rolling,
Teacher
right?
is a good driver. Yes?
And also a good teacher to show others how to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instructor.
Instructor.
Is that yours? What's your number?
30.
He's gonna help you, because it's in the grade book. Can you help him?
Yeah, we'll help you after, I promise, okay? Liz, do you need anything projected right now, or you're just rolling without projection?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Alright, so I'll just explain what we're doing.
Could you tell him at some point? I don't know why he got it. Okay, sure.
And one person would say, and the others would walk around and think, take notes.
So the next activity basically is a poster read. And so we have people next to this. No, from the,
I couldn't find it. I have these, which are just the articles,
just
but
the
they have them in the book.
they don't need to read them.
They don't need that.
All right.
I think we just assign each table one of these and then make a poster. It's pretty straightforward.
It's about an hour and 15. We can do this and present
I think
this.
we can do this in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright, I'll help get the papers and I'll let you roll in. Is that cool?
So welcome back. I'm happy to be your instructor again after being the police officer for all the marking. Ruslan, we found yours. You got a perfect score, rock star as usual. I just want to say, I don't know where your paper is. I saw it. I graded it. I wrote notes on it. Anyway, I want to say something real quick about the module assignments. We have one for this